Hey guys, how's it going? Well, today was a rough day. The player of the day, Lions run line, got killed. You may notice that when I'm going through the games, I don't really focus on the hitting. I already account for that. I actually use a Python script that's already included in the KBO model. Basically, the way the model accounts for the hitting for each team is it takes the hitting stats for a team for the season. And then it also looks at the hitting data from the last 14 or 15 days. And then it uses a 70-30 rule to create a power ranking for the team hitting. It's not really complicated. So that's how I account for the batting average for each team. The model already does that. And I run a Python script that tells me whose recent performance as far as hitting is good. Let's take a look at yesterday's games. No excuses. We just had a bad day. I'm concerned about the KBO model because there was only a strong lean, which really doesn't mean anything. So it's not really a strong play. So I usually don't follow the model unless it's an elite lock. But anyway, Tigers won over the Eagles 10-6. Probably should have faded the Eagles considering how bad they are. What is it? Another L for the Eagles. They look worse than the Eagles. But Wiz the Twins. I was way off in this one. I was actually leaning the Twins, but 16-4. KT Wiz victory. I don't know. This is a KBO. Wiz are number one team. You would think that sometimes they show up and sometimes they don't. I almost want to say that the league is rigged or they just take the day off sometimes. But that's why I don't take the KBO too seriously. Doosan Bears at Dinos. I thought it was going to be a competitive game, but it looks like it fell on the Dinos side. I know I was leaning towards the Bears, but the game played out how I thought it would. It was a coin flip. Landers at Lions, and when we talked about this, for all intents and purposes, the Lions should have won this, but their bullpen just collapsed. But after scoring 18 runs the previous day, they take the day off. So we just have to take that into account for future games. We probably would have been better off just fading the Heroes. And not really betting on the Giants, but just fading Heroes for how bad they are. I'll bet you if we take the Heroes tomorrow, all of a sudden they're going to come back and screw us. But anyway, let's take a look at tomorrow's games. Lions at Dinos again. Even though they lost today, they're big favorites. Who knows? After losing, they'll probably have like a monster game tomorrow. Put this as a maybe. Twins and Eagles. How can we take the Eagles? Is this a game that they finally break their losing streak and win? Who knows? I have to lean towards the Twins here. Money line is 135. So KT Wiz, the Landers pulled up an upset today against the Lions. But if we take the Landers, the KTs will probably kill them. So I don't know. This might be a pass. This game, I think the play here would just to fade the Heroes, but I hate taking the Tigers. They were good for us a while back, but it's possible, considering how bad the Heroes are, the Tigers run line is to play. But Giants at Bears. I was on the Bears yesterday, so I think this is a pass. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup for the games. So we were considering the Tigers and the Heroes. We don't need to look at the Tigers. Let's see how bad the Heroes are, because if we take the Tigers, who's going to be fading the Heroes? So the Heroes pitcher, last outing, played 6 innings. Well, gave up 2 earned runs, but overall, Heroes gave up 4, but they probably lost. I'm pretty sure there was a loss. Against the Giants, 3 earned runs, and against the Twins, 7 earned runs. So basically, he's the league average at 4.5, I mean, exactly at the league average. I don't know, maybe this is a trap, but sometimes a spade is a spade, so that might be a play. So we're going to skip the Giants and Bears. I don't know if I want to deal with the Lions again. And I bet you if we don't take the Lions today, they'll probably have a monster game tomorrow. But let's take a look at the Lions pitcher. The Lions pitcher is pretty shitty. He averages about 6 innings, but the last 2 games against 2 decent teams, he gave up 6 earned runs in each game, so he's not that great. And then the Dinos pitcher, looks like this might be another upset. Based on the pitching matchup, I'm leaning the Dinos, but it's hard to go against the Lions. The 2 games that we're going to have to consider, KT Wiz. While KT Wiz run line almost 1.5 against the Landers. Or I think we said that we were going to fade the Heroes. We're not really going to take the Tigers. We're just fading the Heroes. Take a look at the Landers again. The Landers can upset. They just defeated the Lions 6-4, but then before they lost 4-18. But they did win, so they beat the Lions twice, so they can show up and play. And they are at home. And KT Wiz is bipolar. They could show up to play. They did today 16-4, or they could go 0-1. They were the Twins 19th, or 1-9 on the 18th. They're on the top of the leaderboard, so they're trying to stay ahead of the Lions, but is that enough to motivate them? You know what? I am just going to fade the Heroes, even though I don't like taking the Tigers recently, but I guess that's the play. With my recent run, you might be better off just fading me, but I'm going to go Tigers run line here at plus 100. All right, let's take a look at the KBO motto and see what it recommends. So first game is a pass, and that is no bet on our play of the day, Tigers at Heroes. So the motto recommends a pass. That doesn't bode well for me. KT Wiz, that agrees with me about KT, so it's an elite lock. So it likes the KT Wiz run line. And I might have to make a hedge bet on KT Wiz just in case my play of the day doesn't cover. Another elite lock, a second one with Twins at Eagles, and that's on the Twins run line. Giants at Bears. Wow, a third elite lock. Yesterday was like 3 straight passes, and then today's 3 elite locks. What's going on? Looks like the recommended play is a Giants run line minus 1.5. Looks like the last game is a strong lean, so you might as well ignore that. But the lean is on the Lions run line minus 1.5. So if there's 3 elite locks today, there can only be one top rank elite lock, and that would be the LG Twins run line at minus 1.5. That is the top elite lock for tomorrow. Well, I guess that's it, guys. I will see you next time.